Hello, my spicy friends. Today we're taking a look at the brand new Surf Lanturn in the Open Great League. Let's do this. Starting off this set already, we have a terrific lead in Frostlass. Now, not only is this a good lead for us, this is also exactly where we would want any Frostlass to be, because I don't know if you've noticed yet, but my backline is very weak to ice, and this Lanturn here is going to do a terrific job at getting rid of all those pesky ice types. Now, this team might not have been so good pre-Walrein nerf, but, here's the funny thing. I think I've seen, like, 2 Walrein all day, and I've done almost all of my sets, both today and yesterday. There's barely any Walrein to be found anymore, and you know what? I think it's a boon for grass types, the new era. Feels great. A Lanturn is here enjoying the surf. We win that exchange pretty easily. My 2 Pokemon in the back, Venusaur and Serperior, really don't mind Stunfisk all that much, so I'm going to swap in Venusaur. They bring in Mandibuzz. This is perfect, because Venusaur has a much better Mandibuzz matchup than Serperior, so I'm really glad we're seeing the Mandibuzz now. I mean, it's not like Venusaur wins this, but it has a good move to hit Mandibuzz with, as opposed to Serperior, who is pretty much just there for the bulk and occasional aerial lacing for other grass types and bug types and flying types. My thing is, I have seen a few Buzzwole today, more than I've seen Walrein, which I think is pretty funny. But yes, Serperior does alright versus Buzzwole too, because, a double super effective aerial ace does a ton of damage, just chunks away at Buzzwole, like I'd say 80%, 90%. Of course, the Vine Whips at the end take, they don't really finish it off, takes a lot to farm down, but still, it can really scare Buzzwole with that super effective attack. Although Venusaur probably does a better job with that. Speaking of those notifications we just got, I really like this season's Battle Pass. I really appreciate how we can claim our Stardust rewards at any time. I'm thinking of just doing, all my 100 wins, popping a star piece, boom, collect it all, cash in big. I really appreciate that. I also like how it's free. So let's talk about this game now. We are up against a Bastiodon, but we don't really care because we win that exchange. Bastiodon, I think, loses to all 3 of the Pokemon on my team, but in particular, I'm not really worried because I know that, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, usually all of Bastiodon's partners don't really do so well against Venusaur. Usually Bastiodon is paired up with stuff like Metacham or Shadow Victreebel, and neither of those 2 want to see Venusaur. Maybe the occasional Sableye, but, Sableye doesn't do so well against Venusaur, and it really doesn't do very well against, Serperior. Alright, now they're pulling out the Buzzwole, but you know what, that's fine, because check this out. Look at how much damage Aerial Ace does. That's like the most it's ever going to do to anything ever. It's crazy. Now, we are totally fine with letting Serperior go down to lunge, but that's not all. We're going to bring in Venusaur and farm down with Vine Whip. In comes Jellicent. This is too perfect. This is so... You know how satisfying it is to pull off a 2-shield flex against a Bastiodon user? It feels so good, man. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to flamethrower me? It's going to do maybe 40%, 50% minimum? I don't think so. Alright, now this is kind of a scary lead, not gonna lie. We don't really have any super great options against Venusaur, so I'm just gonna bring in Serperior and hope for the best. They bring out Talonflame. That's alright. I know they're probably going to Flame Charge or Brave Bird or whatever, and yeah, Lanturn can just farm from there. So it's not the worst matchup in the world. We're gonna soft lose here, more or less. We get off 2 Aerial Aces, so it's not like a Talonflame gets off scratch-free. It's in the yellow already. And I really don't care if they go for a Brave Bird and knock us down to yellow, because, yeah, we are just fine. I'm going to farm down all the way. Now, Venusaur, like I said, is a bit of a core breaker for this team. Venusaur itself, it's never really a bad sign when you have to go into the mirror to win a matchup. Not to mention that Superior doesn't really want to get hit by a Sludge Bomb either. Other core breakers here. Let's see. I think some of the dragons are not very good for this team either. Like Altaria, it's actually okay for Lanturn because it resists Sky Attack. Lanturn resists Sky Attack, and it also doesn't. It can also hurt Altaria back pretty well with Thunderbolt. I've heard from a couple of fellow battlers that this team may be weak to Dragonair, but you know what the funny thing is? I haven't seen a single person use Dragonair because Body Slam really is not that much of an upgrade for it from Aqua Tail. So I'm not particularly worried about that. Although speaking of Dragonair, I might use that later. It does sound interesting, but I can't imagine it's that much better than the other dragons that are quite popular in Great League. So here we have a Bastiodon again. Unfortunately, we are going to lose this one narrowly because they have Flamethrower. We hate to see it, but it was going to happen. All right, next game up against Azumarill. Very solid lead for us. Unfortunately, they immediately swap into a Jumpluff, who might also be another core breaker for this team. I swap out a little bit too late, but honestly, I don't think it would have mattered much. Let's see, they go for the Acrobatics, and that does way more damage than I was expecting. Pretty disappointed, not gonna lie. Let's see if they shield up this Sludge Bomb. They unfortunately have the common sense to shield the Sludge Bomb. And I don't make it to a Sludge Bomb or even a Frenzy Plant, narrowly missing the opportunity for another shield grab. I was thinking of calling their bluff, like, hey, maybe it's an Energy Ball bait, but no, they're going straight Acrobatics. This is terrible. We hate to see it. What are they going to do now? They're going to let this through. Okay. My plan now is I'm going to hope for a sweep with Lanturn. Because, yeah, this kind of hurts. Well, what now? Okay. I'm hoping they're not going to shield this. They do shield it. And my plan now is to just use the Lanturn and save Superior as another shield. They're going for Azumarill. So, I am hoping, we're doing a lot of hopium lately, really hoping here that they do not have Play Rough because we resist Ice Beam and Hydro Pump. But unfortunately for me, they do appear to have Play Rough, so I'm going to farm up as much as I can right before the 5th bubble hits and they get the energy for it. Thunderbolt, boom, let's go. They're bringing in Runerigus. I kind of dropped the ball here by trying to catch a Sand Tomb. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. My bad, guys. I might have been able to sweep there if I hadn't done that. We hate to see it. They were probably building up to a Shadow Ball anyway because Sand Tomb went KO. But anyway, that was a close game. Alright, final game of today's set. I stopped the Venusaur to bait out their grass answer. Let's go. Sludge Bomb. They gotta respect the Sludge Bomb. It's gonna do a ton of damage. They're gonna have to throw at least. And let's see here. What are they gonna do? They're gonna throw a Flame Charge. That's quite alright. We're gonna bring in Lanturn and go for the Farm Down. Total Farm Down. Let's go. What do they have in the back? Let's see here. Okay, that wasn't very intense, but they have a Trevenant, which is not great, but we can still make this work. Superior does have the super effective Aerial Lace to hit it with, which would probably do a lot of damage because Trevenant is very frail. Unfortunately, they bait us correctly with a Seed Bomb and bring in the Lanturn. Okay, that's fine. I'm not quite sure why they're doing that. I think they just want to get it out of the way, I guess. But we get to farm them down all the way. I guess they decided they're going to try to do some damage. And they get a Thunder off. Interesting. Okay, I suppose Surf and Thunder would be a viable set because Surf is spammy and Thunder is a hard-hitting nuke. But what do they have here? They have Trevenant. We're going to beat them to a charge move with Aerial Lace. I am going to have to call their bluff. Or actually, I'm not going to do that at all. I'm just going to bring in Lantern, go for a Thunderbolt. Deal a decent chunk of damage. Now, plan here. Shield everything up. Actually, not Lantern. I'm going to go for the Vine Whip Farm Down with Superior. Bye, Lantern. You did your best, buddy. Let's go. Superior. Farm Down. We did it. Awesome. Thanks for watching, my spicy friends. Take care. Have a great night.